Okay, so we are recording now. So welcome to Rotary. I am Amber. I hope you have, like Cindy said, been enjoying this beautiful weather and this beautiful day and getting your kids ready for school next Wednesday. I know I'm excited to send my son. He attends Holy Name, but I'm still excited that the kids are going to be starting soon. We should start the way we always start, with the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun? If you would, Benny, can you lead us in prayer, please?
Absolutely. Let's pray. Lord, today we thank you for this day for which we could gather to talk about the way that the Rotary Club can better serve you in our community in which we live in. We ask that our special guest speaker, that you just place a hedge of protection around him, be with us in all that we say and all that we do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. The next on the list of activities we usually go to is the dollar fine trivia question. So Lori is keeping track of all the weeks we've missed and how many people get the fines wrong, so we can have a scholarship available hopefully at the end of this year. Lori?
Hello, everyone. So today's trivia question, first of all, everybody unmute yourselves so that you can scream out the answer. Today's trivia question is, traveling from east to west from Kentucky's highest point, Black Mountain, to its lowest, the Mississippi River in Fulton County, is a descent of how many feet?
8,000 feet.
No, incorrect.
More or less.
I can't tell you that.
4,212.
Close.
5,500.
No. Any other guesses? 3,882 feet. Thank you for participating.
Thank you very much.
Back to you.
All righty. We are at announcements, and Tim Hobbs sent me a message just to let the Rotary Club know that the first female Rotarian and the first female Rotary president in Henderson, she passed away yesterday. Her name was Mildred Bassett, and her funeral will be held Saturday at Rudy Rowland Funeral Home. So it's really sad, and I hate to hear that she passed. And I was unaware about she was the first female the president, and it was here in Henderson. So how neat is that? That's wonderful. So please keep her in our thoughts, and I will try and find a picture and a little bit more information and share it next week so we can see who she was. I looked online real quick at the Rudy Rowland and I didn't see it. The next is going to be our Rotary member spotlight for this week. Alex?
Good afternoon, everyone. President Amber, fellow Rotarians, hope you all are doing well. We're continuing on with our Rotary member spotlights to get to know each other a little bit better. And I do want to give a quick shout out to Kelsey Dunham, who's on today. Kelsey's our newest member of Rotary. So congratulations, Kelsey, and welcome.
Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey.
And
Thanks,
this
guys.
week, thank you. And this week, our Rotary member spotlight is Holly Melton. So I'll go ahead and let Holly take it away.
Hi there. For those of you who I haven't met, I'm Holly Melton. I currently serve as the brand experience specialist at Field & Main Bank. I've been with Field & Main for a little over a year now. So my job includes crafting the perfect modern craft banking experience for each person that walks through the door of a Field & Main banking center. We strive to make banking personal again, and it's my job to know how to make that happen. I was born and raised here in Henderson. I graduated from Henderson County High School in 2014, and then went on to attend Henderson Community College, where I graduated in 2016. During my time as a student at Henderson Community College, I was a Rotary Colonels to College Scholar, and also the recipient of a Rotary Scholarship that allowed me to graduate debt-free. From there, I transferred to the University of Southern Indiana, where I graduated in 2019. Staying local has always been a huge deal to me, so being able to obtain my bachelor's degree and get my first job while never once having to leave the Henderson area was such a blessing. I love being a part of such a great group of Rotarians. I began attending Rotary as a high school student with the Student Ambassador Program, and then a couple of times throughout college as a guest of various members. So when the time came for me to become an official Rotarian, I was over the moon. One of my passions is showcasing all of the amazing things that our town has to offer, and being a Rotarian has only enabled me to do that even more. I've had the best time being a member of Rotary, and I'm so thankful for how welcoming our club has been to new members. So if I or Field and Main Bank can ever be of any help to any of you, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Oh, thank you so much. That's awesome. And welcome and congratulations on your 1 year of being a Henderson Rotarian. That is awesome. You did a very good job. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Alex, for picking the members. You're doing a very good job. Next, just the announcement on as you remember, this year from July through the end of June, each month we're going to be focusing on an organization. This month in August, we are going to be donating paper towels to the school system. Hopefully we can get those delivered sometime next week. So each month, we're going to be finding an organization, and if you know of one that needs a little bit of help each month, reach out to me or a board and we'll be happy to help out. We are trying to promote service above self, which is our motto. And also, if you know of anybody who's interested in becoming a Rotarian, please feel free to send the Zoom invites and we'll get them admitted to the Zoom meeting so they can get acclimated to Rotary. Mr. Lawson, if you would like to start, tell us about yourself and take over.
Great. Well, thank you all for having me. I'm Bob Lawson, and I hope you've had a chance to maybe hear something on the radio or read something, and maybe you're somewhat acquainted. But I will succeed Miss Stanley as the superintendent of Henderson County Schools beginning December 1st. And that is truly a distinct honor to succeed her in that role and to work and live in a community like Henderson. Sarah, my wife Sarah, and I feel very honored to be back in Henderson. We spent 7 years here. My wife Sarah is a teacher in the district, and she's going to be teaching at Niagara Elementary. We have 3 children. Grace, our oldest daughter, she's 9. Ruth, our middle daughter now, she is 6, and we have a 1-year-old as of August 23rd. His name is James Randall. So we have 3 children, and Sarah and I couldn't be more happy to be back here in Henderson. So obviously, as someone mentioned earlier, COVID-19 has created some unknowns throughout everybody's professional careers and lives. But one thing we know for sure is we've got a fantastic school district here. We've got a fantastic community. And because of that, we'll weather this storm, and we'll keep pressing through it with wisdom and concern and compassion for everyone involved. And we want to do what's right for our kids and community, no matter the circumstance. So in terms of, I listened to Miss Holly there, and wow, she did such a good job presenting. I wanted to kind of tell you guys, most of my educational background was I was secondary. I taught at the high school level. I actually taught a year of alternative school as well. I was a coach there. I was assistant principal at an elementary school at Bengate Elementary for a couple years. And then I have spent the last 5 years as the principal of my old high school, my alma mater. And so I spent 5 years there doing that. And that was a blessing to be able to do that. And the only place that Sarah and I would have considered moving is the beautiful town of Henderson, Kentucky. And again, we feel very blessed to be here. We feel like there's not a place better, there's not a town better to raise our family in, to educate our children in. And it's because of our great school system and great community partners and great organizations like the Rotary. So that's a little bit about Sarah and I. As you guys probably have heard and Ms. Stanley has explained, our school year starts on August 26th. And at this point, we're going to utilize the option of non-traditional instruction. Have you guys heard a little bit about that? Okay. Do you have any? So let me start there. We have 3 options this year. Really, I guess 4 options. We have the regular go back to school, which we all want to happen. We want to see our kids all back in the classroom, our teachers teaching, our coaches coaching, all those things. We really want to see that. But the other models are a hybrid model where we would go back to school with, say, a limited number of days, some type of rotating schedule where not everyone was in the building, maybe a certain percentage of students and staff in the building. And then another option called NTI, which you learned a little bit about last spring, which is called non-traditional instruction. Now, as of last spring, our teachers and staff did a fantastic job of rolling out NTI with such short notice in our community and our teachers, and we all kind of learned that together. And since then, we knew that that might be an option, or likely would be at some time this year that we would be doing NTI again. So our teachers, our instructional specialists, our technology integrationists, our instructional leaders have worked diligently and trained, prepared all summer in case we had to do this. So we are well prepared to execute NTI while we did a fine job in the spring, it was new to us then. And it went on longer than we thought it would have. I don't know about you all, but in education, when the governor essentially closed the schools for 10 days, we hoped that's all it would be. And then, of course, we know that it became extended past that. And so NTI went for a significant number of days there. And now our teachers feel far more comfortable doing that. And we, at the district and school at leadership level, we worked hard to prepare them with resources and training to best execute education through non-traditional instruction. So that's the mode we're going to start in. And then, of course, the other one is called a virtual learning academy, which we didn't have before. The virtual learning academy is all virtual, which means those students, they won't come into the school building this year. They'll be online with the teacher, and that's run primarily with a facilitative teacher and through a software that we purchased through the district. And so those kids that choose that option for reasons that they feel that are best for them will be on a virtual learning, while the students that do not choose that path at this time during this school year, they might experience at this point NTI. Then it could possibly move to a hybrid model. Then possibly and hopefully at some point this year, we'll all be back in school traditionally. So with that, thanks again for having me with the Rotary today. Thanks again for welcoming us back to Henderson. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear those.
How is the rollout of the Chromebooks going for all the kids?
Yeah, so the past few days, and some today as well, our schools throughout our district are rolling out Chromebooks. And they're doing that similarly to how they collected those last spring. For all those of you in our community, something we can be really proud of here is we are a K through 12 one-to-one district. What that means is we have a device for every student in this district to be able to work on non-traditional instruction. And that speaks volumes of the commitment of Ms. Stanley and our whole leadership team here and all the employees of our district, our board, our taxpayers, our community partners, that our school district finds a way to make learning happen even during a pandemic for every single child, regardless of socioeconomic status or any other considerations. Every kid in our district is provided a Chromebook. So yes, right now some folks are calling it different things. We first called this a soft opening as we plan to have students into our buildings. And so now we're doing some individualized meetings, as well as you might, if you drive by a school, you may see a line of cars and groups of teachers and staff out there social distancing, but wearing school colors, waving to parents, connecting with parents, making sure they get a Chromebook, getting certain forms filled out, maybe even doing a little bit of a tutorial on how to use the device. And in addition to that, in the coming days, we'll be bringing kids in really small groups, and we'll be going by all the guidelines, of course, to maybe just, especially for some of our younger students and students transitioning. So a student transitioning from, say, you know, like a kindergarten to first grade, or students transitioning from elementary school to middle school. That's quite a jump. And students going from middle school to high school, those would be priority in terms of students who are making a real big transition, to get them in and talk to them about what their concerns are, you know, give an orientation that they feel comfortable with. And so, yes, to your question there, we are rolling out our devices, and we're ready to hit the ground running with NTI.
Wonderful.
Bob, I have a question. We all know that there will be some children whose families just cannot provide the education for them at home. What kind of intervention or what kind of plan is there for those children who it's obvious are getting left behind because of all of this?
Yes. Obviously, Ms. Sauls, you know that how important it is for our children not to get behind, and as best we can to provide a teacher for them. Really, there is never going to be a replacement for the classroom teacher. So within our district, of course, like you said, our NTI models will be far more interactive this year in terms of there'll be many meetings and instruction through avenues such as Zoom and Google Meet, kind of like we're having here. We are working on a partnership currently with some of our community partners to extend internet and Wi-Fi capabilities to those who otherwise can't afford it. And as you say, there are students who maybe could fall through a crack because maybe they don't have the means or otherwise. So we're working through some partnerships like that. And some of the latest regulations are that we could possibly look at bringing in students in a really small group. So we are looking at that as well. And then, as you guys saw last spring, there'll be a big effort to reach our community via mobile internet access in terms of sending out buses to spots and sending out maybe vehicles to spots where students could receive Wi-Fi, extending our Wi-Fi at our school parking lots students can pull up there in the parking lot and access the Wi-Fi. And Ms. Sauls, to your point there too, we're making every effort to comply with what the governor's recommendations are. And in the coming weeks, we hope to be able to bring those students you're speaking of actually in on a small group, limited time basis to do some face-to-face instruction. But of course, we're gonna comply with the governor's recommendations.
I've got another question. That just leads me to maybe all kinds of questions.
Sure.
I know that the state regulates so much of what we do in the schools and everything like that. Are they relaxing any of that and allowing us on a local basis to make some real wise decisions about what we need to be doing here? And is there the 180-day thing, is that still 180 days required and all that?
So that's a couple different parts there. On the front end of your question, and so if I miss a part, Ms. Sauls, bring me back to it, okay?
Oh, I will.
Oh, okay. On the front end of that, the governor, of course, come out with an announcement. I think it was about a week or so ago, maybe the 10th, he came out with an announcement that schools should not return, and it should go to a virtual option. And then this past week, in one of the superintendent webinars, I'm sure the governor and our commissioner for KDE had collaborated and saw the need that you mentioned in your question before, that there are students that the gap will widen if they don't have a chance to get back in classrooms. So there is some new guidance on that. And so that's kind of where we've been all summer, and really, I guess, all spring and summer. Once that guidance has been released, then we look and see how we could execute that guidance. So the good news is there's a possibility that we could get kids into our buildings in front of a teacher in small groups, practicing all of the regulated guidelines, that we could do that sometime in the coming weeks. That's so the governor hasn't necessarily come off of his recommendation, to answer your question, but they are seeing those same needs you see. And they're providing some guidance to maybe help support learning for those kids that are in the most needs.
And is the 180 days, that's still a requirement?
No, the 180 days
that's-
is not necessarily a requirement. The big change there has been that they've moved to 1,062 hours. So the time requirement wouldn't necessarily add up to that many days, but there's just an hour requirement that students and that is required to educate them this year.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, thank you.
Hi, Dr. Lawson. Captain Carringer here with the Salvation Army. I know that you has shared about, potentially buses going out for internet access for certain students. Here at the Salvation Army, we have that Wi-Fi capability. We have a gymnasium. Would that be something that maybe we could talk about that would be interested for the school to maybe use, and possibly have a teacher come here as we could practice all of those social distance guidelines and safety procedures here at our facility?
Absolutely, that could be an option. Thank you for offering that. I didn't know that, and so that could be a very viable option. Could maybe you send me an email explaining some of that stuff so I could review that with our admin team and run it by all our policies and see if that's a possibility?
Absolutely, will do. And once again, thank you for your insights for the Henderson County School Board moving forward. And we look forward to many great years with your leadership.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions?
Dr. Lawson, we would love to have you join our Rotary Club.
I think that would be great too. You all seem to be a fine group of people with, I like your mission. I think it's right on in alignment with everything that Sarah and I want to do as people, and then everything that we want to do here at Henderson County Schools. So I look forward to being a member.
Absolutely. We'll get you. Alex will send you an application. He's
Thanks,
in charge
Alex.
of our membership.
And I was going to make a comment, but I wanted to pause for a moment so Alex could get that in. But I will say, as a parent of a junior at the high school, just want to pay everybody a compliment there in the school system for the communication and organization with everything. I've just seen it from the parents' perspective, and really appreciate it. I know it's a heck of a lot of work that's behind the scenes with everything. Very complicated and changes by the minute with everything that everyone has to deal with. But just from my perspective as a parent, it's hats off to you all and everybody involved.
Thank you, Dr. Warren. We appreciate that, both from your parent perspective, and obviously you know a lot about that too in your role at the community college. And something Holly said there, a program that's really near and dear to our heart is that Colonels to College program, and all that HCC does for this community. So I hope your daughter has the school year she wants to have. We're going to do everything we can to make it the best we can.
Great. Anything we can do to help you as well, I hope you call them anytime.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Any other questions or comments? Mr. Lawson, you did a fabulous job, and I look forward to the day you can come and present at Rotary in person. We usually meet at the Thelma B. Learning Center right there at the building right next to it, but we had to move to the Presbyterian Church prior to going only Zoom meetings. So I look forward to you coming and presenting, and we try and get the superintendent about once a year just to keep us updated on the school system. But anytime you have anything to say, please feel free, and we look forward to you actually being a member. So thank you very much. We should end the way we began with the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? It is fair to all concerned. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will be beneficial to all concerned. And for our club, is it fun? Absolutely. We will see you guys next week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy this weather, and talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.